Hit play now.
No, that's not it.
I'm
Alright, this is better. Alright, let's go. This is better. Alright, y'all. Let's see if we can dive in a little bit. This is just as a result of me. I mean, I'm gonna upload this video, so I guess I gotta do an introduction. Welcome to the live. My name is Patrick. A lot of people call me Laureate. At least the name of this channel is Laureate. We are looking at 3 questions that could possibly break up a couple. You could actually break up a relationship. So what I actually want y'all to do is to debate me. Alrighty. So I'll give you my answer, then you guys can go ahead and debate me. Let me say welcome to the live, y'all. Appreciate y'all for passing through. We are looking at 3 questions that could possibly break up a relationship. All right. And here are the 3 topics that we're looking at tonight. Given your password, your phone password to your partner, we're also looking at having the opposite sex as your best friend. And finally, do opposites attract versus dating your equal? So I don't want y'all to just say yes. I also want you to tell me why you agree or disagree with any of these topics. And make sure you hit that like button too, all right? Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. That way YouTube can basically push out the content. But I'll let the music play a little bit so we can develop an audience, alrighty?
already know, already know, already know, already know.
Let me say welcome, y'all.
Already know, no,
We are looking at 3 questions that could possibly break up a relationship. So y'all stay tuned. We're trying to get a bit more people in the live. Appreciate the likes, y'all. Keep liking the live. That way YouTube can basically push it out to other people, alrighty? But we are looking at 3 questions that could possibly break up a relationship. And the questions that I have for y'all is, should you give your password to your spouse? What's up, Nathan? How you doing? Thank you for coming through, Nathan. Make sure y'all like the live. That way YouTube can push the live out.
you're beautiful.
I know I'm gonna mess your name up, so I'm gonna say Algira. That's how I say it, Algira. What's up? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming through. Make sure you like the live. That way YouTube can push it out. But we are looking at 3 questions that could possibly break up a relationship. I'm gonna give you all my 3 questions that I have. The first one is, should you give your password to your spouse? Second question, I am doing good, my friend Nathan. I'm doing really good. Blessed and highly favored, man. Even though we have a thunderstorm outside, but you know, I'm inside, so I think I'm doing pretty well. And my third question is, does opposites attract versus dating your equal? Alrighty? We are gonna jump into all 3 questions. So y'all, again, I would say I want you guys to debate me. Debate me. Feel free to debate me, alrighty?
Yeah, John Crow, yeah, dog. She does want that man fix spend pan her.
Can you guys hear me clearly though? That's what I want to know. Can you hear me clearly? Feel free to hit that subscription button too, y'all. I do appreciate it.
But I got ya, nah, no.
So I don't want y'all to just tell me yes or no. I also want you to tell me why you disagree or if you agree with my questions. Okay, so debate me. Debate me. That's what I'm hoping for in this particular live. Where you from, Nathan?
Oh, you got
So, question number 1. Are you guys ready? Question number 1. Should couples have each other's phone password? That's question number 1. Should couples have each other's phone password? Would you give your password to your significant other? That's my question. Nathan is saying yes. Tell me why, Nathan. Why do you say yes? That you should give your password to your partner?
When you down, never run you down. Already know.
So tell me why you say you should give your password to your partner. Where you guys are viewing from? Let me know where you're viewing from also.
Already know. Already know. Girl, I know you got.
So Nathan is saying you both could trust each other that you're not cheating on them. So I got you. I see. It's all about trust for Nathan. We got your name is so long, bro. I don't think I can pronounce your name. I'm just gonna say, oh no.
Manipulate man, but me
Is
not
it oh
easily
no?
tempted.
I'm just gonna say, oh no, or 1742. I'm gonna say 740. Your name is too long to pronounce. I should, but I wouldn't. Tell me why you wouldn't. Is it because you know that you're doing something wrong? Let me know. Give me reasons why you would not give your password to your partner. I like what 1742 is saying, bro. I can't pronounce all that. That is the longest name I've ever seen.
One if you want one, come
So should you give, would you give your phone password to your partner?
treat people the way
I'm gonna hit you out with some statistics right now. Alrighty. So they did a research. They did a research in 2019. Alrighty. This is what the research said. Let me say thank y'all for coming through on the live. Feel free to like the live, y'all. Like the live so YouTube can push it out. Thank y'all so very much. And if you've subscribed to the channel, I can see from where I'm at right now. So thank you for the subscription in advance. But here's a research that I came across while putting this topic together. Okay. So this is from the
show you.
Pew Research Center, which is PEW. They basically stated that after doing the research, they found that 75% of, and this is in the United States, that is, of United States partners who are adults, they were surveyed in 2019, and it basically stated that 75%
Never know you are
couples actually give their password to their significant other. That figure was higher among married couples, which it was like 79% of married couples give their password to their significant other, and 74 with like people who are just in a relationship, while it was 58% among people in committed relationships who weren't married. They were just cohabiting. So the question that I want to ask is, even though 75% give their password, is the 25% hiding something? Is the other 25% hiding something? Tell me why your mic sound. My mic sound is horrible? Shit, let me try to fix that. Is it still horrible right now? Is it better?
girl, I know you got options.
Tell me if that mic sound got better. Let me know.
But control your ego.
So 1742 says, yeah, a healthy relationship should be when they are open about stuff, no secrecy. But it's easier said than done, which is true. I agree with you. Some things are more private. It's uncomfortable. Check in search history. Very uncomfortable, my friend. Probably I actually don't know. So I have another question for you guys. I have a question for y'all. So the question is privacy the same thing as secrecy? Is privacy the same thing as secrecy? Because I know that you're in a relationship, but even in a relationship, don't you have privacy in a relationship? Or should you not have privacy in a relationship? And a part of that privacy could be you not wanting to share your password with your partner. You see what I'm saying? So we can't always conflate the idea of secrecy to privacy. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is conflated. Should not be conflated. I mean, we all should have a level of privacy, even though we are in a relationship. That makes sense. That makes sense, Nathan. Let me know if it makes sense. Nathan is saying you should have Paris like if your partner. Maybe I'm reading that incorrectly. You should have Paris like if your partner went through your privacy. You should have privacy like if your partner went through your stuff, buying stuff with their money. your money, it's bad. So yeah, I believe that you have to have privacy, Nathan. You should have privacy. And having privacy doesn't always mean that you're secretive or you have something to hide. I just want that little private moment. So I believe in privacy for sure. Believe in privacy for sure. I've seen relationship fail because people don't want to give their password to their significant other. I saw a video. So this guy took his girlfriend out to eat, and she was there texting on her phone. And in the middle of them having dinner, she got up and left her phone. Well, she put her phone down on the table. She got up to walk away, and the guy went to take the phone to look at it. And how she turned around and grabbed that phone so quickly definitely suggested that something was up. She was texting somebody that she didn't want him to see. We're not talking about relationships like that. We're talking about a relationship where you got two loving people. I think it should be okay if you don't give your password to your significant other. That's what I think. If you want to, you can, but it also shouldn't be a big deal if you're like, yeah, I want to have my privacy. You know what I mean? So she definitely, Nathan, she had another lover, and the guy literally walked out on her during that dinner. He's like, nah, to hell with this. I'm not staying. Is my microphone still horrible, y'all? Let me know. I'm trying to fix it. I haven't used this system in a long while, and it is not even functioning the way it should be, but I just wanted to come live anyway. She has other lover. She definitely did have another lover, y'all. So yeah, again, I want you to type in the chat yes or no if you think it is okay or it is not, or is it not okay to share your password with your lover.
Time you see crowd like your name conceited. Plus you always have some selfish thoughts. Yeah man, me don't catch you cross.
So type it in the chat. Yes or no. Should you share your password with your lover? I wish I could type this very fast in that question.
Yes, I know you got options.
So type it in the chat. Should you share your password with your lover or should you not? Is it a red flag if you don't give your significant other your password? And I want to ask, would you give your password to your significant other? What would you do? I'm making this very personal.
So cold. Never know you a demon, true outside look like gold. Look one if you want one. Coming now, run you down. Girl.
Maybe I need to turn the microphone down. I want to make sure that the microphone is not sounding horrible. So the question is, would you give your partner your password, your phone password? Yes or no? And should they be allowed, even if you give them your password, should they be allowed to look through your phone whenever they want? Should your partner be able to look through your phone whenever he or she wants? What y'all think?
Already know you got options. Already know, girl, I know you got options. But control your ego, make yourself good.
So, should your partner be allowed to look through your phone whenever he or she wants?
But what if you want?
I want you to type in the chat yes or no. What if they ask because they don't trust you? Is that a red flag for you? What if you have nothing to hide but still don't want them going through your phone? So is checking someone's phone without permission a violation of trust? So if somebody checks your phone without your permission, your partner in this instance, is that a violation of trust?
Yes, I know you got options.
So as we end the first segment of this debate whether or not you should share your password with your partner. I want you all to type in the chat. Would you share your password with your partner? Or if or if they check your phone, is it that they're violating your trust? What y'all think? If y'all want to know my answer, let me know. Let me know.
Plus, you always have some selfish thoughts. Your mommy don't get you crap. Me say, then which part? Yeah, John quiet down. She just want a man for spend on her. And as the money done, she gone. She look like everything you want.
Here's the statistics for y'all. So based on, this is a research again. So based on a research, this is actually from the Pew Research. 34% of partners, I'm talking adults, have searched their partner's phone without their knowledge. 34% of people in a committed relationship admitted that they searched their partner's phone without their knowledge. Yet 70% of US adults said it was rarely or never acceptable. So is it acceptable if your partner goes through your phone without your permission? Is that a violation of your trust, your privacy? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. So for those who are new, we were looking at, is it okay to share your password with your partner? Is it okay to share your password with your partner? That was a question that we were looking at. A lot of people are caught between a rock and a hard place. I've had people saying, yes, you should share your password because it does show that you trust your partner. A lot of people are saying, hey, it's also about having a level of privacy too. You know what I mean? And privacy doesn't always equate to secrecy. You see what I mean? And with that said, we are going to the next topic on hand. But if you have anything to say, let me know in the comment section, y'all. Feel free to like that live. That way YouTube can push the live out to more people. All right? So question 2. This one is going to be a very controversial question. Should your partner have a best friend of the opposite sex? Should your partner have a best friend of the opposite sex? So if you are a male, should your significant other have a male best friend? And if you're a female, should your significant other have a female best friend? Let me know in the comment section, y'all. Should your partner have a partner a best friend of the opposite sex? Can someone be in a serious relationship and still have a best friend of the opposite sex? I guess that's a better way to put the question. So can someone be in a serious committed relationship and still have a best friend of the opposite sex? Let me know in the comment section if you agree or if you disagree. And again, debate me. I want to know why, not just no or yes. Okay, I want to know why. And as the money done, she gone. She look like everything. And would you be comfortable? Let me ask, would you be comfortable with your partner having a best friend of the opposite sex? So we're leaving the hypothetical and now we're asking a direct personal question. Would you be comfortable with your partner having a best friend of the opposite sex? Let me know in the comments, y'all. I know you got options, I already know. But control your ego, make yourself go. Never know. So this is basically like a boundary test. You know what I mean? It's all about boundaries in a relationship. If a relationship doesn't have boundaries, it will suffocate, it will explode. So part of building boundaries should involve, I want to say, some amount of mutual consent on what you are able to do within that relationship and what you're not able to do in that relationship. So, for example, if your partner has a best friend of the opposite sex, is it okay for them to text every day? And this is purely hypothetical. If you allow it, that is, are they allowed to text every day? Are they allowed to call each other late at night? Let me say, welcome to the live. Are they allowed to call each other at night? And if you're new, we're looking at, is it okay for your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? If you agree and you say yes, then the question is, are they allowed to text every day? That is the opposite sex texting your partner. Are they allowed to call each other late at night? Can they hang out alone? Like, yeah, we're gonna hang out alone. Thank y'all for joining the live. We are looking at, is it okay to have a best friend of the opposite sex if you're in a committed relationship? Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? That's the question I'm asking. And if you agree, again, we're looking at, are they able to text every day? Would you allow them to call each other late at night? Would you allow them to hang out with each other alone? Or maybe go on a vacation together? Huh? Or talk about the problems they're having in their relationship with each other. What if that best friend of the opposite sex was somebody your partner hooked up with, maybe in high school or in college? Would you still allow them to be best friends? That's the question I want to ask y'all. Let me see what y'all got. Let me hear what you guys have to say in the comments, okay? So what if your partner tells you that, hey, yeah, he's like family to me, or she's like family to me? Would you still allow them to be best friends? Thank you all for joining. We are asking the hard question. Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? What if your partner tells you that, yeah, she's like family to me, or he's like a brother to me? Would you still allow it? Let me know in the comment section. What if that best friend wanted to text your partner every day, or call your partner late at night? Would you allow it? Let me know what y'all think, y'all. Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? That is the question that we're looking at. Thank y'all for joining. So here are some statistics that I researched, all right? Because it's good to work from pragmatics, that is, all righty? So we're not manufacturing a percentage here, all righty? But based on a research that I looked at, it basically confirmed or found that plenty of research around friendship, jealousy, attraction, and opposite sex relationships. There are many working, I want to say, examples that we've seen, at least in my life, where a girl had a male best friend from high school all the way up until she got married. And the guy's like, yeah, you got to drop that best friend. And she's like, no, we've been friends like forever. And he's saying, from a guy's perspective, that it is difficult for a guy to be best friends with a girl. And it is simple. One is, as a man, you don't benefit much from having a girl best friend. And for us, I want to say alpha males, we can also sense when your so-called best friend is literally laying wait until you are in a vulnerable position to take advantage of that vulnerable position. You know what I mean? It is hard, not saying it's impossible, but it is hard for a woman to have a guy best friend and that guy best friend doesn't find her attractive. It is not saying it's impossible, but it is really difficult. All right, it's really difficult. I'm going to give you all a story, and this is a real story. They actually did a test on this particular couple. All righty, she had what she considered a gay male best friend. All right, but her partner was very uncomfortable with the guy, even though he was gay. His partner was really uncomfortable because he felt as though the gay guy wanted his woman. And so what he did, he told her, but she always brushed it off. He's like, nah, that's my best friend from high school. We've been together. Let me say welcome to the life. We've been together all da 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 da. So what the guy did, they set up some cameras in the house. Okay? True story. They set some cameras in the house, and he had her lady pretend as though they broke up. So the girl called the gay guy, and she was like, "Hey, so and so, we just broke up, and I'm despondent, and I need some company. Let me say welcome, y'all. Thank y'all for joining the live. Wagwan, wagwan, my bro. Wagwan, wagwan, United. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Let me finish the story. So she called her so-called gay best friend, told her like, "Hey, I just broke up with my boyfriend. He ain't shit, da 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 da, and I need some company because I'm not feeling well. I need somebody to console me." So this guy drove over. While he was driving over, he was saying the worst thing about her boyfriend, but he didn't know that the boyfriend was listening in on the cameras. And when he came over, she was on the couch sitting, and the gay guy came in. Again, at least he said he was gay. All right, y'all. So I can only tell you the story how I saw it. And she had a bottle of tequila, and they were drinking, having a good time. She was pretending that she was despondent and crying. And in the midst of it, the guy made a move on her, started kissing her. Let me say welcome everybody on the live. The guy made a move. He said he was gay. They've been friends for like maybe 10 or 15 years. All righty? He made a move on her, kissed her. And she was like, "What? What the hell are you doing?" But again, he didn't know that there were cameras recording him. She's like, "What the hell are you doing? I thought you were gay." And then he said, "Yeah, I am gay, but I've always had feelings for you." You know what I mean? And then he tried to kiss her again, and she shoved him off like, "No, I can't kiss you. I thought we were just like friends." So it is highly unlikely that a guy is your friend and he doesn't have any ulterior motive. It is highly unlikely. And again, men don't benefit much from having a girl best friend. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying there aren't exceptions to the rule, but I will let y'all know, for me, this is just me. My woman can never have a male best friend. I guess the only male best friend she's allowed to have is Jesus. I swear. If y'all disagree with me on the live, let me know. Type disagree in the live. But my woman can never have a male best friend. Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. Especially when I know how men think. People would say I'm projecting my insecurities on her. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm not willing to find out. I'm not willing to find out. Duplex in the building, bro. Well, go on, dupes. Then I know it's a duplex in the building, man. You don't know where I go. Let me say welcome to the live. But I'm asking the question: would you ever allow your woman to have a best friend of the opposite sex? Again, the only best friend she can have is Jesus, bro. Not a male best friend. Not a male best friend. I've seen too much scenarios played out where people are just waiting in line just to hook up with your lady. Let me know in the comment section, y'all. Would you guys allow it? Am I just being melodramatic? Am I just being delusional? Am I just being insecure? Let me know in the comment section. If I'm being insecure, let me know. Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex?
Side with the ladies. Up and we get wasted.
So is the problem the friend, or is the problem the boundaries? Can she have a friend with boundaries, if you want to look at it that way? You know what I mean? Is she allowed to say you agree that, hey, you can have a male best friend? Then what would be the boundaries? My United is saying hell no. United is saying hell no. So you agree with me, bro? So I got one person who agree with me. If anybody disagrees with me, I want to know your reason. Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? And if you do allow it, what are the boundaries? What are the parameters that they can operate in? Is he allowed to text her every day, call her late at night? Would you allow her to go on a vacation with him? Are they allowed to talk about relationship problems? Like, what are the parameters that you would allow? If you allow it, that is. You know what I mean? Because it cannot be where you just allow it with no boundaries. You see what I'm saying, y'all? But thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like the live. Also, subscribe to the channel, y'all. And we are releasing videos every week, me and my lady. So also check out the content that we're dropping. Thank y'all for coming through. So would you allow it, y'all? Let me know. Leave it in the comment section. So the question is, someone can have maybe an opposite sex best friend with appropriate boundaries, while another person can have a same sex friend and still cross the boundaries. You see what I'm saying? So it goes both ways, like either or. But if you're talking about personal preference, mine is no. Hell no. Hell no. I think I think that's like a red flag for me. At least that's me. So is it a friend or a red flag for you? Is it fine for you? Is it a red flag? It's really up to you. But for me, that's a red flag. You gonna tell me like you got a male best friend for what? Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I don't do that. I don't do that. And I will never be a girl's male best friend either. I will never do that. I will never put myself in that situation. I mean, I have my lady right now, but if I didn't have a woman and I was trying to approach a woman and she's like, nah, we can be friends. I'm like, hell nah, bro, we can't be friends. What you gonna do for me? If I'm in a fight, you ain't gonna fight nobody for me. If my car is broken down, you can't even come and help me to at least change my tires or do anything. Like, there's no benefit for me having a female best friend. There's really no benefit for me unless she's gonna put me onto some of her friends. You see what I'm saying? But there's really no benefit outside of that, bro. In that friendship dynamic, the person that actually wins is the female. The guy is the one that is giving all his energy. Because even if she's your friend, you are gonna find that you're doing boyfriend things for her. You see what I'm saying? So she's the one benefiting, not you, bro. So I would never put myself in that situation. As we move on, let me say welcome to everybody on the live. We are going to look at the final question on the live, which is round 3. So we already looked at, would you give your partner your password to your phone? That was the first question that we looked at. A lot of people said yes, some said no. The second question was, would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? And then finally, we are looking at, does opposite actually attract, or should you date your equal? Do opposites attract, or should you date your equal? What y'all think? Again, don't just say yes or no. I want y'all to give me reasons why you believe that opposites attract, or you should just date your equal. And we will definitely define some of these terms like opposite and equal, I guess, because some words might have dual meaning, and I want to be concise with my words. So let me know in the comments, y'all. Does opposite actually attract, or should you date your equal? Before I give an explanation of these terms.
And ambition. Predictable.
Make it play now. I'm missing. So, do opposites actually attract, or should you date your equal? Is my microphone sounding all right, y'all? I want to ask that question. Somebody told me that it was sounding horrible, so I want to make sure that it was actually fixed. So, is my microphone sounding okay? All right, so let's dive into round three fully. Let's explicate everything fully. So, do opposites really attract, or are you better off dating someone who is your equal? And again, we are going to define terms like equal. Equal could be financial equality, where you guys maybe have the same level of money. Equal could also refer to intellectuality, where you guys are on that same level of education. You know what I mean? So, do opposites actually attract, or should you date your equal? And we are defining equality. Again, I know there's a lot of debate about equal rights or equality between men and women. I'm giving a walking definition for equality, which it changes based on the couple dynamic. So in a relationship, equality could basically mean financial equality, making the same amount or around the same amount. Could also be about intellectual equality, where you guys are educated alike. You know what I mean? It could also be about ambition. It could also mention emotional maturity. You know what I mean? Some people are more emotionally mature than some. I don't want to say, maybe physicality could be in it too, because you have people who like to go to the gym. So you like to go to the gym, but your partner hates the gym. That could also create a dynamic where it puts you guys on different pages. You know what I mean? It also could be lifestyle. You know what I mean? Some people like to live a affluent or more simplistic lifestyle, and that could also clash. You see what I'm saying? So the question: does opposite attract, or should you date your equal?
No, already know, girl. I know you got options.
I already know.
Already know, but control your ego. Make you so cool, never know. You
So
are
to be
demon.
frank, I was trying to give y'all some time to type it in the comments if opposite attract or they don't. But to be frank, the research generally doesn't support the simple idea that opposites attract.
Do everything what
Just
you
being
tell
frank.
me.
Not saying it's impossible,
Relate man, but
but
me not easy
research
tempted.
doesn't always show that opposites actually attract. Because if we have nothing in common,
Better than nobody.
people normally ask, what are we going to talk about? Let me say welcome to the live, y'all. If you and your partner have nothing in common, no common interests in sports, music, I don't even want to say politics, but that could be in it, then what are you guys going to talk about? So does opposite attract, or should you date somebody who's your equal? That is a question that I'm asking my viewers. And again, I define equality as financial equality, intellectual equality, being ambitious, lifestyle, or some level of physicality. If your partner loves to go to the gym, you know what I mean. So
Like a name
I
conceited.
don't know. I don't think opposite always attract. That is the data that I've pulled.
Yeah,
So,
John
research
Crow.
on romantic couples has repeatedly found evidence that people tend to pair with partners who are similar to them in various characteristics. Alrighty, and that is from the PubMed Central. They did a research on romantic couples, and they found that yeah, you pair with somebody who you have something in common with, not somebody who's your total opposite. As much as how the idea sounds, I want to say rhetorically pleasing, that opposites attract. It is.
Already
I want to,
know.
what's the best word to use?
You're so
It is deceptive. It is really deceptive. Okay, it is really deceptive. It is just not reality. That makes sense? It is just not reality. Again, there's always exceptions to these rules. You can always have exceptions, so you can't be the exception. Alrighty? Similarly, it doesn't automatically mean a happy relationship. You see what I'm saying?
already know.
Because not because you and somebody have the same things in common, it doesn't mean that your relationship will be happy. Not because you don't have things in common, still doesn't mean that your relationship is going to be boring or chaotic. So it is a very thin line that we are walking. We're walking a very thin line. So one study examined personality, values, and attitude, found that personality similarity wasn't consistently associated with relationship satisfaction. Let me say that again. So one study examined personality, values, and attitudes, and found that personality similarity wasn't consistently associated with relationship satisfaction, while similarity in certain attitude and values showed stronger relationships. I'm not sure if y'all got that. So they looked at how compatible people were based on their personality. And what they found is it didn't always lead on to somebody being satisfied in a relationship. While the similarity in certain attitudes and values does strengthen the relationship. So it's almost like a,
Oh, you want to be
I
treated.
don't want to say ambiguous. In a sense, it is ambiguity, but in a relationship dynamic, it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. That makes sense, y'all. That having certain things in common might help your relationship, but even though you have things in common, it might still not help out the relationship. I know it doesn't make sense, but I guess that's how life is. So another study, so this was a study that I read. They actually had over 248 married couples. They were doing a study on these 248 married couples, and what they found was that greater similarity was associated with higher marital satisfaction. Thank y'all for the like. Thank you for liking the live. Make sure y'all follow the page. So they did a study on 248 married couples, and they found that greater similarity was associated with higher marital satisfaction, particularly in certain personality value areas. We can definitely go into more of that if you want me to. If not, we can leave it at that. But the question that I'm posing to my audience is, does opposite attract, or should you date your equal? I'm going to give you all a true story. Let me know if my mic sounds okay, y'all, but I'm going to give you a true story. So this story was told to me by a friend of mine. I know this person personally, so I will not call any names, even though they're not here with us anymore. They passed away years ago. He was an older guy. I always found that I enjoyed being in the presence of older people. So here's a story that this old guy told me. So his partner was significantly younger than him. When I say significantly, I mean maybe 10 or 12 years younger than him. Okay? So follow the story. He got the opportunity to travel the world, and he was a mason by trade. So he made a little bit of money, but there was a particular girl in his community that he liked, but she was younger, like way younger. So he couldn't even like look at her as he wanted to, because she was what? Maybe she was 12 when he was like way up in age. Anyway, he traveled for a little bit, stayed away from the community for years, and when he came back, she was old enough. I think she was like maybe 20 something, and he was in his mid 30s or close to 40. But he still found her attracted. So what he did, he married her. He went ahead and married her. And he decided that since you're now my wife, let me know what you want to do with your life and I will help you out. When he came back from traveling the world, he became a farmer in his local community. So he was farming, all right, y'all. And he said to his wife that if you want to do or further your education, I will pay for it. Follow the story, y'all. It's getting good. Follow the story. So he sent her to college to get a tertiary education. The program was a 3-year program. During that 3 years, her 3-year tenure, that is, her friends knew that she was married to an older guy, and they were young. They were in her age bracket. And they were laughing at her like, why do you have that old man as your husband? You are young, fresh, and gorgeous. There's so many good looking guys on campus that like you. Why not give them a chance? You're with an old dude. That's what her friends kept telling her. And then she did allow her friends to get in her ear. And so she started seeing somebody that was in her age bracket. Follow the story. We're talking about, do opposites attract, or should you date your equal? And I define equality, all right? I defined equality. If I need to do it again, let me know. Anyway, after she got her diploma, well, it was actually, yeah, she got her degree. After she got her degree, my friend told me that he noticed that prior to her even getting her degree, that she started moving like weird. You know what I mean? She wouldn't. She doesn't want to hold his hand when they're in public. Whenever there's any event at the school where you have to invite, like, maybe a family friend or your partner, she would never invite him to the school. She did it once, and she would never even like look at him while she was around her peers. So she was ashamed of him, but he was the one sending her to school. You see what I'm saying? He was the one sending her to school, paying for her education. And the moment that she got her degree, bruh, she ended the relationship. One, because she felt as though now she's intellectually superior to him because she's a teacher and he's a farmer. So she left him after he paid for everything. So, should you date your opposite, or should you date somebody that's equal? When she was not educated and he was the one that was seemingly educated because he was traveling the world and making money, she was fine with him. But the moment that he elevated her, she felt as though he was not even good enough for her intellectually, and even though he was way older than her, and he left. So that's a true story that happened to a friend of mine, and I can tell y'all a few more stories like that happened because I've had friends tell me about stories like this. We've seen tragedies too from my former university that I attended, where partner would finance their girlfriend's education, and the moment that they're done with tertiary schooling, they decide that, hey, they want to leave the partner. And there are many instances where the guy took the life of the female. So we got plenty of stories. I got plenty of stories, y'all. So let's not stray too far. Let's get back to it. Should you date somebody who's opposite to you, or should you date somebody that's your equal? That's the question. So it is said that scientifically it is proven that you should date your equal. Let me say that again. Based on research, it is said scientifically that instead of dating your opposite, you should date your equal. Okay? Scientifically, that's what they say. It leads to more satisfaction. However, there's always exceptions to the rule. Okay, remember that. There's always exceptions to the rule. So I know that sounds really simplistic. I know it sounds really simplistic saying scientifically it is proven that you should date your equal. It is also true that research suggests people tend to choose similar partners. Well, that doesn't mean you need to be identical. Let me say that again. You can choose somebody who you have certain similarities to, but it doesn't mean that y'all should be identical. There should still be room for, I want to say, minor differences to add spark to that relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want to date me. Not saying I'm a bad guy or anything, but I wouldn't want to date somebody who's identical to me. I want somebody who can add a little bit of perspective to my life. You know what I mean? Because you can get caught up in your own perspective. And even though there's identicality, there should also be differences, like minor differences. You see what I'm saying? So at least that is my view of the entire situation. So here's a scenario, y'all. Here's a scenario. So, say that you're extremely ambitious. Your partner is comfortable working a normal job and doesn't care about building a business. Can the relationship work? So, that is the scenario I'm posting to y'all. You're extremely ambitious. Your partner is comfortable with doing like a regular 9 to 5, and they don't care about building a business. Can the relationship work? Let me know in the comment section. Scenario number 2. You make maybe $150,000 a year, and your partner makes 35,000. Does that matter? Does the amount of money that you make really matter in the relationship? Let me know what y'all think. Scenario number 3. You're extremely attractive and get attention anywhere you go. Your partner doesn't. Does that create an imbalance? Does that create an imbalance? You're attractive, your partner is, say, average. You tend to pull all the heads in the room, your partner doesn't. Is that an imbalance in the relationship? Let me know in the comment section, y'all. And finally, scenario number 5. Let me say welcome to all my viewers. Finally, scenario number 5. Would you rather date someone who is very different from you but loves you deeply, or someone who is extremely similar to you but you're not as passionate about them? Who would you date? The person who is different but loves you so much, but somebody who's similar to you but you are not as passionate about them? Give me the answer to all the questions. I'm gonna say the scenarios again for those who did not hear. So the first scenario is you're extremely ambitious. Your partner is comfortable working a regular 9 to 5. They don't really care about building a business. Can the relationship work? Scenario number 2. You make $150,000 a year. Your partner makes only 35,000. Does that matter? Does the amount of money that you make compared to what your partner make matters? Let me know. Yeah, let me know if my mic is sounding horrible, or is it better right now? But what if you want one coming on your door? Tough. Scenario number 3. You're highly educated. Your partner isn't. Does that matter? Does the level of education or the education disparity in the relationship, does it matter? Scenario number 4. You're extremely attractive. You basically turn heads anywhere you go because of how attractive you are. Your partner doesn't turn heads. Does that create an imbalance in the relationship? And finally, scenario number 5. Would you rather date someone who is very different from you but loves you deeply, or someone who is extremely similar but you are not as passionate about them? And as we wind down the live, and I'm coming to a close in this presentation, I want to thank all my viewers. If you even stayed for a minute or two, I want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all so very much. If you left a like on the live, thank you guys so very much. If you gave me a comment, thank y'all so very much. Alrighty, I appreciate that. So the final segment of the live that we're gonna look at very quickly. I'm gonna basically ask, what is your deal breaker? Alrighty, I'm doing like a rapid fire deal breaker. So let me know if it's a deal breaker or not. Okay. So here's the situation. You and your partner answer you can answer the question with your partner. Alrighty. So here we go. Deal breaker or not a deal breaker? Question 1. Would you share your phone password with your partner? Yes or no? Let me say welcome to the live. We are coming to an end. I'm looking at deal breakers or not deal breakers. If you want, you can answer these questions. So would you share your phone password with your partner? Is that a deal breaker? Yes or no? Deal breaker number 2. Would you allow your partner to have a best friend of the opposite sex? Is that a deal breaker? Yes or no? Question number 3. Would you allow your partner to have their ex as a close friend? That one is. that one is. That one is crazy. Would you allow your partner to have their ex as a friend? Is that a deal breaker for you or not? My other question is, if your partner makes significantly less money than you, if your partner makes significantly less money than you, is that a deal breaker? Yes or no? If your partner checks your phone without your consent, is that a deal breaker for you? Yes or no? Can you consider some selfish talk? But if your partner has different political views, is that a deal breaker for you? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. If your partner isn't as ambitious as you, is that a deal breaker? Yes or no? If your partner wants to go on a trip alone with their opposite sex friend, so your partner has a friend of the opposite sex and they want to go on a trip just them alone, is that a deal breaker for you? Let me know. So let me know which one of these actually it would be a deal breaker for you. Leave it in the comment section. Alrighty. I want to say thank you all so very much for coming through. Again, feel free to hit that like button, share, subscribe. Go ahead and check out the new videos that I'm dropping every week on the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment. It doesn't cost you anything. People act as though leaving a like or a comment costs a lot. It doesn't, y'all. It definitely doesn't cost a lot to like or leave a comment. But thank you guys so very much. I'm at the end of the live. If you guys enjoyed this particular live structure and format and the information, let me know. And I'm trying to go live at least 2 to 3 times a week. That is my goal. 2 to 3 times a week. I know I'm usually pretty busy, but this is something that I like to do. Alrighty, y'all. So thank you guys again. Y'all stay blessed. Usually I like to go to like an hour with the live, but I think I'm at the end. So again, I appreciate everybody that came through, everybody that gave me a like, left a comment. For my new subscribers, thank y'all so very much. I will be going live more often. So give me topics that you want me to discuss, and check the videos on the channel. Okay, watch the videos on the channel.
Reggae summer, I you.